Ever sit there late at night wondering what it would take for the Minnesota Timberwolves to finally break through? This franchise has hovered near greatness for what feels like forever. So close, so often, yet never quite over the hump. The defense is elite, the chemistry is strong, the coaching is steady, but there's still one piece missing: that game-changing guard who injects energy, creativity, and controlled chaos. Someone who can collapse defenses at will and take pressure off Anthony Edwards in the biggest moments. That's why, right now, the Timberwolves should be doing everything in their power to pursue Ja Morant.
Every game the dream comes true. The NBA recap, where the courts ignite. The NBA recap, every story night. The NBA recap.
According to Dallas Hoops Journal, Minnesota has checked in with the Memphis Grizzlies about a potential trade for the All-Star guard. That report shouldn't be taken lightly. This isn't baseless speculation. It's the sign of a front office doing due diligence on a superstar who suddenly appears attainable. The situation in Memphis is beginning to fracture, and when that happens, contenders look for openings. The Timberwolves, built on a foundation of defensive grit and rising star power, are in position to take advantage. The Grizzlies are struggling out of the gate, sitting at 4-7, and the tension is starting to show. Ja Morant, once the heartbeat of that franchise, is reportedly frustrated. The Dallas Hoops Journal report cites that Morant hates playing for head coach Tuomas Iisalo, primarily because of the constant lineup changes and short substitution patterns that prevent him from finding rhythm. That's not a small concern for a player whose game thrives on flow and confidence. When that rhythm is gone, the joy goes with it, and according to the same report, Morant himself admitted he's not playing with any joy. For a player defined by his energy and emotion, that statement is telling. It signals deep disconnect. The article also confirms that Morant was suspended for one game for conduct detrimental to the team. Add that disciplinary issue to the coaching frustration and the lack of joy, and the picture becomes clear. This is a superstar in turmoil. When a player of Morant's caliber hits that point, organizations across the league start taking notice. Contractually, Morant remains a major asset. He'll earn $39.4 million this season, $42.2 million in 2026-27, and $44.9 million in 2027-28, which is the final year of his deal. At just 26 years old, he's entering his prime under long-term control, the kind of profile teams rarely see available. Statistically, his season averages of 19.2 points, 3.8 rebounds, and 7.9 assists per game might look slightly down, with shooting splits of 35.8% from the field and just 14.8% from three. But his free throw accuracy is elite at 94.9%. More importantly, his career averages 22.5 points, 4.7 rebounds, and 7.4 assists demonstrate sustained impact. Crucially, Morant does not have a no-trade clause, which means Memphis maintains full flexibility. The Grizzlies can explore the market without seeking player approval. Combined with the slow start, the internal tension, and the recent suspension, that freedom creates one of the more intriguing trade scenarios in the league. New reports have added further context. According to NBA Central, if the Grizzlies were to entertain trading Morant, they'd be looking for one of two things: either a star player who can sell tickets, or a substantial return of draft picks and young prospects. That steep asking price reinforces how much Memphis still values Morant, but also confirms that conversations are at least conceivable. When a front office sets parameters for what it would take to move a player, it's a signal that dialogue is not off the table. Another report from NBA Central notes that the Miami Heat have emerged as a potential landing spot, described as Pat Riley's home for distressed players. That phrase captures what Miami represents: a structured, disciplined environment that has often rehabilitated star reputations. The Heat's involvement suggests a market may soon develop, and for any team interested, that means urgency. Once Riley enters the equation, things can accelerate quickly. Back to the Timberwolves. The Dallas Hoops Journal article makes one observation that cuts through the noise. A backcourt of Morant and Anthony Edwards would certainly be fun to watch. Fun might actually be an understatement. It would be explosive. Two elite athletes, both aggressive shot creators and fearless finishers, operating side by side. Defenses would be forced to choose between doubling Edwards and giving Morant lanes to the rim, or collapsing on Morant and watching Edwards attack single coverage. It's the kind of duo that instantly redefines a team's offensive ceiling. The Timberwolves have made the Western Conference Finals 2 consecutive years, and that consistency matters. This isn't a rebuilding team hunting for a miracle. It's an established contender with infrastructure in place. That foundation is exactly what a player like Morant needs: a system with defensive identity, star leadership, and a winning culture. Placed in the right environment, Morant's creativity could thrive again. Yes, there's risk. His efficiency is down, and the Memphis situation has been messy. But that's what calculated gambles are for. The ceiling is too high to ignore. At 26 years old, Morant still possesses superstar athleticism, vision, and playmaking instincts few players can replicate. And the financial commitment between $39 and $44 million per season is in line with what comparable all-NBA talents command in today's market. The timing also favors bold action. The Timberwolves' window is open now. Their core isn't getting younger, and their foundation has been carefully built for a moment like this. Waiting for a perfect opportunity often leads to regret in this league. When a player of Morant's ability becomes even remotely available, decisive teams act. From Morant's standpoint, Minnesota could represent a much-needed reset. He has admitted he's not playing with joy in Memphis. A new environment, one that values structure but still allows freedom, might reignite what made him special. Surrounded by teammates who communicate, defend, and play for one another, he could rediscover his rhythm and rebuild his confidence. Everything lines up in a way that makes this discussion legitimate. The Grizzlies are frustrated. Morant is searching for joy. The Heat are monitoring. The Timberwolves have expressed interest. Memphis reportedly wants either a marquee name or a massive package of picks and youth. The situation is fluid, and time is critical. The Timberwolves have a choice: remain a very good team that's always close, or take the leap toward greatness by adding the type of player who shifts the entire dynamic of a series. A Morant-Edwards pairing would bring nightly excitement, national attention, and legitimate championship buzz. It would turn the Target Center into must-see basketball. The path is there. The signals are green. The Timberwolves have the assets, the need, and the timing. The Grizzlies have tension and motivation to at least listen. The opportunity may not come again. Pursuing Ja Morant isn't about desperation, it's about ambition. And for Minnesota, ambition might finally be the difference between being remembered and being legendary. That's going to wrap it up for today's episode of the NBA Recap. I'm Lucas, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new upload. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more in-depth NBA coverage right here on the NBA Recap.